as part of my Christmas in July series, we will be transforming this sweet little gift bag into this beautiful journal and folio. So you got a quick sneak peek, but let's take a closer look. And so you can see the cover has this sweet gingerbread tag. I've added stickles to the top. I've double layered it, and I've got some lace all the way around it, and I have some paper above and below it, along with this awesome, I love this ribbon, and with a little piece of star bling in the front. And the tutorial will be at the end if you want to see how to transform this. So when you open it up, you can see here's a beautiful trim over here, lace and also vintage trim. It's got sweet bow paper, and then look, this is a cookie tray, and on it is a gigantic baked Christmas tree cookie, all iced with white and with glitter, and it's ready to eat for Christmas Day. And we love Christmas Day. And the back of these are all blank, so they're perfect for adding your memories or your pictures, your photos, whatever you would like. And here is an amazing gingerbread house, and I layered that up with some stickles on here. This is vintage music paper, and then I've inked around the edges of the green, and I added the word love because homes are filled with love, and that is really what we're celebrating in this season. Then we've got this sweet little gingerbread girl over here with lace. She is a full flip, and look, here's a gingerbread cookie, and again, tons of writing space. Then that opens up to this pocket, and what is in here? We have this sweet little Gingerbread Baking Company sack, and it's all layered up with paper and lace and buttons. And then when you open it up, what's inside? Another tag, and it says Bake with Love. And it has this sweet red and white baker's twine, has a rickrack, a spoon that I watercolored, and it has some plain tickets in the background, and that fits so nicely right back in here and back into the pocket. Now you can journal on the back of this, put photos, and you can see this is a junk mail envelope that I covered up, and I lined the inside. So if you take this out and put it someplace else, just know you can put anything you want behind that window and it will show through, which I love. Behind here we have a sweet tag. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that gingerbread boy. And so I made this paper lace with a punch, and then your gingerbread boy is wishing all that your dreams come true, and it's got stickles on here and a great grosgrain double bow that I tied on here to top that all off. Then when you flip the page, you've got another gingerbread boy on this side, and this time it is filled with an adorable tag that says Bake with Love and a gingerbread candy cane. It even has a little measuring cup as a little dingle over here off the top, which has tulle, rickrack, and baker's twine, and even burnt jute right on the top. I think that is so fun. And then when you flip it over, look, there's tons of space to write in here, add your picture. I think that is so beautiful. And then it reveals another gingerbread house, also on vintage music paper, double backed up, and that is a tuck. And so look at this great card. It's all on foil again, incorporating that music paper, and this time a gingerbread rocking horse all decorated up. I've got some sweet ivory lace here and a label so you can write the date right on here of your memory. It's got some 2-layer rickrack on here. I love that. And I did pop it up just a little bit with hot glue to add a little bit more dimension to that. It's tied in a double bow and fits behind this beautiful paper that is filled with Christmas trees. And when we come over here to the right, you can see it is backed with wonderful music paper over here and repeating the same elements on the side tuck. And then we've got our sweet little gingerbread girl over here holding her candy cane, and it says Gingerbread Kisses. And I added a silver foam heart to the center, and not only is there lace, there is this great checked ruffle over here, and that just tucks right in there. And then look, a choo-choo, a gingerbread choo-choo. And my son always loved choo-choos trains, and my husband loves choo-choos, and so I was so excited to find this little gingerbread cookie of a choo-choo, and then I layered it with a gingerbread star and a red cookie star. These are probably more like sugar cookies in the background, and they tuck in there. And then when you close this up, the back has this. It says gingerbread cookies. It's the whole recipe. It is stickled up on the Snuggle and Enjoy as well as the gingerbread. It has sweet coordinating Christmas fabric over here. And all we have to do now is to tie it on up and close it. If you want to see how this is made, stick with me and we'll do that next. If you are enjoying the content of this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on my video, as well as comment and subscribe. Now let's jump into the quick tutorial. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to take our gift bag and we're going to turn it on its side, and we are going to cut it into the shape that we want. So the first cut we're going to make is right here down the center of the side of the bag, okay? So just go ahead and trim down the center. And then we're going to cut the bottom off. And now we've got our basic shape of the bag, just like this. So the next thing we're going to do is remove these handles. When it comes over here to the edge, I don't want to tear this bag, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut this off right here, just like that. And the same for this side. Now what we want to do is we want to square up the sides and the edges. I'm just lining my bag up like this, and then I am going to take off as little as possible. Here we go. And make all the edges straight. And what you want to do is go ahead. We're going to flip it over. And if you make this a whole number, like I'm trying to do mine at 8, it will make it easier when you're going to cut your papers to fit. So I'm going to go with 8 inches right here. I'm going to trim this bottom off just like that. So I've got a straight edge. And then I'm going to flip over here and trim this side. It should look like this. Okay, and so you can see this is the cover, this is the tuck, this is the tuck, just like that. So the only thing we need to glue together is this spine, and then we can go ahead and cut our paper to fit the inside right and the inside left, and I'll do that and be right back. Okay, so you can see mine is glued, and I did go ahead and ink around the edges a bit. Totally optional, definitely not required. I lined the inside of mine with this bow paper on this side and music paper over here. It doesn't have to go all the way to the edge if your papers don't reach, because this is going to be glued down. So what I did over here was I added a bit of lace, and then I added another piece of trim, and that's because I love the red color of the bag. I didn't want to cover it up, but if you want to cover it up or decorate it however you like, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue and just glue down this right near the edge and right on the edge right down here, and that is going to make our pocket to just kind of hold it in place right now. I'm going to glue the other side. The next thing we're going to do is prep this for the little ribbon closure, and you don't have to do this. You can close it any way you like, or you don't even have to close it. I just think the ribbon adds a cute little flair, and since we're doing gingerbread, I thought the plaid would be appropriate. I'm going to find approximately the middle, and then I'm going to take my double stick tape I'm just going to put a little piece over here in the middle. This is just to anchor this down right now. And I'm going to put my ribbon right over that. I'm going to do the same on the back. What I try to do is line the two ribbon pieces up at the edge. Now I'm just applying glue to this. This is just a piece of paper that I had. I did ink around the edges. I think that's about where we wanted that. And this one, I'm trying to make them about even from the bottom, so that looks good. Okay. And since it is not going to be showing, you don't have to put one whole piece. So if you've just got smaller scraps, that would totally work for this. Trying to make the top and the bottom even. So there we go. Okay, so we've got our cover on. I just love the way that that looks. And for the back, because it sits on the back, I tend to want to make my back flat. By flat, I mean not with like dimensional foam and stuff. So I'm going to apply this glue to this fabric right here on the edges. Okay, and then also around the edge of this paper. And then I'm also, for some added security, going to put just a bit of hot glue on this middle. Okay. And I'm just trying to get that approximately even from side to side and from top to bottom. And then I'm going to push down and mop up any excess glue. Okay, so next we're going to open it up and we're going to create our page here in the middle. What I want to use here is this red and white stripe on this side and then the green on this side. Now I'm going to use this center part, this little divider thing right here as my hinge. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to angle these just a bit. And that just takes down a bit of the bulk. I want to put this one on this side towards the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Okay, great. On this side. And then for this one, I wanted to put this little guy over here onto this page and tuck something behind it. So I'm going to leave this time, just leave a little space at the bottom over here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, okay, and now I'm going to glue my two pages together. They will stick or they will adhere to each other. Okay, so I'm going to take this. And this is cardstock that I am using, so it is heavy. It's not heavyweight cardstock, but it is cardstock, so it can definitely take the weight of these nice little flips. And what I'm doing here is looking on the bottom to make sure I've got this as lined up as possible, which looks great. And if you can see right here, I have just a tiny bit of excess, and so we can do one of two things. We can try and cut this off, but we can also just ink over it to hide it. So inking works just as well as cutting. All right, so that's so great. So we've got that on. Okay, now we're in the home stretch. We get to fill it up. Okay, for this one, I made another pocket that can go behind this, but I do want it to say Gingerbread Baking Company to show. So when I go ahead and take my glue to glue this down, I want to go close to the edge because I've got a pretty big tag that I'm going to stick in here. If your tag is not as wide, then you don't have to worry as much. So I'm just going right along here, along the side, and then I'm also gonna go on the bottom over here. I'm gonna put a little bit on here, but really this line right here will prevent my tag from going through. So I don't want these things to pop up. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue into the parts where there is a little more space. Okay, so let's put this down. Let's make sure this gingerbread baking company shows through. Okay, while that is setting up, I've got a tuck. So for a tuck, I am going to just do the bottom with glue and up one side. Okay, and that's the inside piece that I'm doing. And I'm gonna just put that right there. Okay, so we're gonna take our card and we're gonna go ahead and insert it in this pocket. I love the way that looks. I love that the rickrack even sticks out. And we're gonna stick this one here and this one here. We're gonna close it up and then just tie it in a bow, and it's all ready to go. So thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.